Oh, hi. Me again. Shall we continue? Okay. They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. Okay, so remember we had gone through the 5-door and found some cabins, and then we talked a weird amount about a bunch of fringe science articles that the characters kind of remembered. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway. They took hold and shook, but it refused to move. Nearby was a pair of elevators. It took only a few button presses to determine that the elevators would not respond to their efforts. They could only assume the elevators were not powered. There was only one door left. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yeah. Sure does. Well then, let's open it. Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. Quietly. He entered, slowly trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly. Oh, so it's a kitchen. Santa did not look pleased. What were you expecting? Isn't it obvious? The exit. I was hoping this would be the way out of here. You really think it'd be that easy? Oh no, that was Junpei, sorry. Yeah, I know. Still. As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room, until at last she stood in front of a door. If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that grate we saw earlier. But don't we need a key for that? Sorry, I guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy. Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did... hey! What's that? Huh? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the beach. Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. She ran her finger across it, muttering to herself. I knew it. See? Look. Junpei did as he was told. Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well. See? We came in here. If we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate. With her finger, Lotus traced a path on the map. She was right. Satisfied that she had been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei. He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket. There's a card reader on the right side of the door. Then that means the key card is somewhere in here, right? That seems the most likely. All right, we know what we need to do then. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues. Okay. Gets me every time. Okay, what are we looking at? Expensive plates. They have plates for appetizers. Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay. Well, excuse me, princess. That's a reference to something. You can Google it. A voucher. Appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. Okay. There's soup plates. They're made that way so the soup doesn't spill. Get out of here. You should treat yourself to a nice dinner out. What makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that? There are 15 of these plates. hell can you tell that? They look just like any other plate from the 99-cent store. Ever take a lady out to dinner, you're going to embarrass yourself. I feel sorry for June. Why the hell are you bringing up June? The lady doth protest too much, methinks. You are not terribly subtle. Bunch of little wavy ridges on this plate. Those plates are for serving meat. Oh, you really are ignorant, aren't you? Come on, it's not like I need to know this crap. Jeez. Come for me, Lotus. Note, got a bunch of stuff in it, but it doesn't code or anything like that. Wow. This pot looks like it's made of silver. Spending a day off with June, drinking tea. Could such a day ever happen for me? Junpei? Oh, nothing. We don't really need hot water, so we should be moving on. What a dopey little fantasy you've got, Junpei. Oh. So much stuff in here. Oil cans. Probably a pantry. Hey. There's something behind the cheese. Why don't we move some of the cheese? Alright guys, time to move it. June and I need to look behind you. There's a little green bottle back there. Bottle of oil. Cooking oil. You could probably use this to make something slippery. Weird. Whetstone. Those tables for preparing pizza. There's a chef on board somewhere. I wonder what this drawer is. See the little grate on top of the grill? They make it like that so the fat juices can drip off of the meat while it cooks. What are you? Okay, an iron oven. Looks pretty heavy duty. It's probably industrial quality. I bet you could cook anything like this. Anyway, let's have a look inside. Damn, I knew it. It's locked. I'm very confused about the layout of this room. Voucher doesn't match the number of plates on the table. It's What? And hexadecimal is... It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. You're familiar with base 10, right? That's the normal system of numbers. The base 10 equivalents for hexadecimal numbers would go like this. A equals 10, B equals 11, C equals 12, D 13, E 14, F 15. Oh. And 10 is 16. But 10 becomes 16 because in base... Wait, 10 becomes 16 in base 10. I know it sounds strange, but you can think of it just as just 6 letters added onto the normal number system after 9. So F is 15, I think that's the only thing I need to know. I think I get it. Hexadecimal. I wonder if it's some kind of hint. Yeah, maybe. Junpei, do you remember what I told you about hexadecimal code earlier? Yeah, of course I do. Alright then, here's a little quiz for you. What would 9 plus F be in base 10? F equals 15, so it'd be 9 plus 15, which would be 24, right? That's right. Good job, you're a fast learner. Okay. The voucher doesn't tell me actually. A bunch of instructions for using the quick utensils. I'm really suspicious about that. It's a bolt, and it's really rusty. Will this even open? We won't know till we try. Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see if you're gonna come out. Damn. No dice. But what if? Of course. Maybe if I put some oil on it. Hey! Just a little bit of oil and... Come on, you little son of a bitch. Whoa. Ha! Yes! Got you, you little bastard. You did it, Junpei. You're so smart. As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat. It's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. What is this place? Are you blind? It's a freezer. Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation. Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me. I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you. And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, June came in. Oh, it's really cold in here. White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver. Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this. No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now. But Junpei could scarcely open his mouth when the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison, they spun around to find that the door they had only recently come through was closed. Junpei rushed to the door. Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob. Ow! It was cold, beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful. The doorknob had been frozen solid. They quickly deduced that the pipe next to the door had ruptured. Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door. Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door. She wasted no time in responding. What do you want? What's going on? The door won't open. Try opening it from that side. Please. Ugh, fine. If you say so. Hold on. Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. Then the grunting ceased and they could hear light panting as if from exertion. It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out. God damn it. Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. Fuck. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies. Anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we're going to be permanent residents. 2 heads up are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Yeah, you're right. Let's just take a good look around this room. Welcome, Thelma. Maybe you'll help me. They pushed in close to one another and began to search. Yes, they did. There's some frozen meat up there. Looks like pork. Huh? What's this? It's like a tag or something. Is there a slip of paper in that meat? I think there's something written on here, but I can't read it like this. If I try and pull it out, it'll probably rip. We need to defrost that. Don't think we're going to be doing that in this room. Right, nice. Can't you make that stuff cause an explosion if you seal it in something that's airtight? Explode? Yeah, didn't you do that in school? You should never underestimate the power of expanding gas. Okay. Junpei picked up the dry ice with his sleeve so as to avoid burning himself. Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right? Yeah, it is. I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again. Hell if I know. How's that going to help us anyway? Oh, well, figured we might be able to use it to get out of here. They were about to move on when June spoke up. Carbon dioxide's sublimation point is negative 109 degrees. Any warmer than that and it'll turn into gas. Any lower and it becomes a solid. Junpei looked at her dumbfounded. How do you know that? Despite my looks, I'm the queen... the queen of random knowledge. Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Oh, you're so cold your mouth's going numb? Yes. That's right. You're just doing that on purpose, aren't you? June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was feeling good about it enough. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself. Come on, guys, don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first. Santa was now shivering at an astounding rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Junpei, however, was not in a mood to discuss science. It did strike Junpei's rather odd, and he couldn't help but think about it. June answered. But it can turn into a liquid. Carbon dioxide turns to liquid if you put it under high enough pressure. But at 1 atmosphere, normal air pressure, it won't turn into a liquid, right? That's right. Instead of melting, it'll do what's called sublimating and change immediately from a solid state to a gaseous state. See, that is weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? June replied with an answer that stunned both of them. There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees. Huh? I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees. Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees? Have you seen that phrase before? You have. It's in the weird, insane opening of this game, and it doesn't make any sense, but now it kind of does. You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees? Yeah. Well, you could also look at it as ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. There's the phrase. There's the phrase from the opening. Water that freezes at 96 degrees. Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Junpei was cold as hell, but this was too interesting to ignore. We're trapped in a freezer, but you're telling me that there's a weird thing you know about? Whoa. Everything else is on the back burner. We gotta talk about this water. He did his best to warm up by rubbing his arms and stamping his feet, then put the question to June. Who gives a shit? Wait, that's not the question. So what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called? I heard it's called Ice 9. Ice 9. Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author. But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists. Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9? Or is it water? Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify. So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different. So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that? Yep. Oh, I just noticed that when the text scrolls, they each have a different sound of the beeping. She wasn't finished. Hear that? Still high pitch? Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin? For 150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it, and did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin that was en route to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during the trip. Naturally, scientists worldwide wanted to research this new crystallized form of glycerin and began asking for samples of the seed. A seed is, of course, a sample of the original crystallized substance. With the seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be a simple matter. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, nearby samples did as well. It didn't end there. After that day, all glycerin in the world began to crystallize naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like, how do I put it? It was almost like all the glycerin in the world was communicating in some way that we can't sense. Junpei was honestly impressed. It was, in fact, a pretty interesting story. Wow. That's pretty interesting. But, what does that have to do with Ice 9? To his surprise, it was Santa, not June, who answered. What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean? A lot like... That would be bad if water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees. Man, it'd be the end of the world. Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with the proper concern. At any rate, we're not going to have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quick. He was right. Junpei shivered. Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I didn't think we'd get quite this far. Off topic. I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. Seriously. I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland. I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here. Santa stomped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him. Selfish, isn't he? Thought Junpei to himself. Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to their search. The story of Ice 9 had him interested, but there'd be time to think about that once they'd gotten out of the freezer. Junpei looked at June, nodded, and resumed his search of the room. Frozen chicken. Everything's frozen in here. This thing's covering something. It's frozen solid. I can't flip it over. Not good. I can't hit it hard enough to break it. It just needs more of a shock, you know? More of a shock. There's water dripping from the pipe. Looks like when the pipe burst, the water hit the doorknob and froze it in place. This water actually seems almost warm. Well, let's try it then. Cover, it's frozen in place, I can't get it off. What's this? Ho ho ho! Sturdy rope. Water bottle. A water bottle. This is. If there's anything else here that gets useful. Okay, I think I have my plan. Do I put warm water in the bottle or do I put dry ice in the bottle? Didn't you find some dry ice earlier? Yeah. There's warm water coming out of that pipe. Warm water and dry ice. What do you think would happen if I put that stuff in a sealed container together? Well, I'd like to do that. Apparently I'm thinking about it. Empty water bottle. The neck is pretty small. I don't think I could fit anything very big in here. Can I smash? Yeah, there we go. Alright, the dry ice is all in pieces now. I'm gonna put these pieces of dry ice in the water. Alright. Now, add some more water in. Nope. Apparently not. Not yet, Junpei. We're not going to get the result we want unless we can put that bottle to the doorknob somehow. It's got to explode right next to the ice on the doorknob. And figure out a way to attach the bottle to the doorknob. And let's just tie a rope on here. Water bottle Bob. Warm water dripped from the ruptured pipe near the door. Junpei pulled out the water bottle filled with dry ice and let a good amount of water fall in and quickly sealed it up tight. The makeshift bomb complete, he tied it to the doorknob as quickly as he could manage on the floor. Alright, that's set. So, what do we do now? We just need to give it a little, tap. The bottle's already about to pop. If we just throw a rock or something at it, it'll go off all on its own. A small rock. Junpei looked down at the floor. scattered across it with pieces of dry ice left over from the lump of sugar he crushed earlier. Alright, this ought to do the trick. He pulled his sleeve down over his hand to keep from getting burned and grabbed the chunk of dry ice. It was a pretty good size, about as big as a pool ball. He figured it would be just about the right size. Alright guys, stand back. Actually, we should probably hide somewhere. Both Santa and June looked at him with new concern. Where exactly do you expect us to hide, genius? There isn't really anywhere big enough. Yeah, there is. Look, right here. We can hide in there. Junpei pulled open the door to the small cellar. Come on, get inside, quick. Santa and June nodded and jumped down into the hole. Junpei quickly followed. In his hand, he could feel the chill of the frozen carbon dioxide even through his sleeve. He tightened his grip, took aim, and prepared to throw. Alright, here it goes. 3, 4, 5. You're counting the wrong way! Oops! That is a really sad excuse for a joke, man. Sorry, dude. Alright, for real this time. You guys ready? Yes. Whenever you're ready. Just throw the damn thing. Alright, here I go. 3, 2, 1. Junpei threw the chunk of dry ice as hard as he could. With the same motion, he ducked down into the cellar with Santa and June, just as... Junpei leapt out of the cellar and ran to the door. Junpei, the ice on the door, it's gone. Is it gone? Yeah, it's gone. The blast must have shattered it. Yes. All right, let's see if it opens. Junpei grabbed the knob and pushed with all his might. The door gave way easily, and all three of them tumbled out of the freezer at once. Hooray! We're out. June, relieved, collapsed onto the floor. Move! Santa shoved past Junpei and ran straight to the grill, which he immediately grabbed. Ow! God damn it! Fuck! He proceeded to kick the grill in a futile but amusing fit of rage. But where was Lotus? It took Junpei only a moment to find her. She was sitting on the counter, idly scratching her chest. Oh, welcome back. I was starting to get tired of waiting for you guys. With a great yawn, Lotus lowered herself off the counter. Junpei clenched his teeth and walked toward her. What were you doing? What do you mean, what was I doing? I was waiting. We were gonna die. Oh yeah? But you didn't, so everything worked out alright, didn't it? What the hell? Just kidding. It might not look like it, but I was really worried. Don't give me that crap. I'm telling the truth. I mean, if you died, then I'd be in trouble too. If you died, then I'd be stuck here and I'd die too. See? I did all I could. I even looked around to see if there was anything I could use to pry open the door. But I couldn't find anything. So all I could do was wait. I mean, what else did you want me to do? Call the cops? It was true that there wasn't much she could have done, but something about her tone. Junpei gritted his teeth. Fine. But there's one thing I have to ask you. What's that? You didn't close the door, did you? What? You think I closed the door on you? Why would I do something like that? It closed on its own. I told you before, if you die, then I die too. She was right, and Junpei knew it. Without them, she'd be in very serious trouble. It seemed that an accident was the only explanation for the door's closure. If Lotus had really wanted to kill them, all she would have had to do was bar the door from the outside. And she hadn't. Well, she hadn't done anything. The most she was guilty of was laziness or negligence, not attempted murder. Junpei swallowed his anger and did his best to apologize. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you. Oh yes, well, that's all right, as long as you understand. Lotus looked away and twirled her hair between her fingertips. His vengeance against the grill complete, Santa swaggered back toward Junpei and Lotus. Hey, No more screwing around, you two. Break time's over. Especially for you, lady. You've just been sitting on that fat ass of yours while we were freezing to death. How rude. I was plenty busy. Yeah, how about you put all that energy into something besides bitching? Let's go. Guess I'll put this meat on the grill. Hey, what are you doing? What are you gonna do if the paper burns? Come on, it'll be fine. I mean, it's not like it's gonna burn right away, right? You just gotta keep an eye on it and the paper will be fine. Well, they can argue all they want. I'm gonna keep an eye on this pork. Cool, looks like it's about time. I'm gonna try taking the paper out. Junpei, be careful. Sweet of her to care, but I know what I'm... Ouch! See? I told you. Hey, what the hell are you doing? Hurry up and take the paper out. It's not coming out. This thing's frozen stiff. I can't get it out. So are we going to have to cut the meat? Yeah, it looks that way. I'm gonna get it out and cut the meat open. Oh, shit. Is that a ladle? I don't really think a ladle is going to be very useful. Where are the knives? Scales for preparing food, plates everywhere, countertop. The rolling pin is all under here. Nothing useful. Nothing in here. I don't recall asking you to do anything. I'll throttle you. Squeeze me. Does it feel colder in here? For preparing food. Soup with water and a couple plates in the water. This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Maybe if we put in the right number, it'll open the oven door. Hey Junpei, why don't you try entering the numbers we found in the voucher earlier? The one said appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. 9, 10, 11, 15. That's too many numbers. Why would we have missed anything? We searched that whole damn place. We put our lives on the line, man. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't need to go back there. Look, it's an iron barrel. Judging by the rust, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it up. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. Box in the second row, though. Cans lining every shelf in here. Wooden box on the second row. Can I see it? Aha! A rusty knife. I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this. The knife seems important, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was. It's futile. Futile. You know, a waste. Useless. Pointless. Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up? Oh, no reason, really. I was just thinking about futility. Sure. She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his question. Why were you thinking about futility? At last she answered. Well, it has something to do with the Titanic. Oh, just, you feel that? It's amazing. The Titanic? Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted? No, I haven't. What is it? In 1892, 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novel was published. It was called Futility. It was written by an American novelist named Morgan Robertson. The story was about a big cruise ship colliding with an iceberg and sinking. Of course, if that was the only similarity, there wouldn't be any reason to mention it. I'm not 100% certain that there is any reason to mention it, June, but you are, because it's going to lead into some kind of concept. So, tell me what the reason is. It wasn't, though. The name of the ship, its nationality, course, departure time, size, displacement, maximum speed, number of passengers and crew, the number of lifeboats, even the location of the accident itself and the cause and the location of the damage, everything matches the Titanic almost exactly. It was almost as if we'd seen the whole thing happen. But this book was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But that's not all. It wasn't just futility that predicted the sinking of the Titanic. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead, both of them before the accident, one in 1886, one in 1892. Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided, and many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank. I don't know, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships. Right, I knew you'd say that. But, what if Stead had some sort of special powers? To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing? What? Automatic writing? Wait, are you talking about that thing where someone says they're possessed by a spirit, and then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing? Yes. What do you mean, yes? That stuff's a load of bull. But Junpei, you said you believe in curses. Come on, that's totally different. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing itself isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When the Stead dude wrote his thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by spirits of dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff? That's not it. What's not it? Stead wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing. What are you smoking? William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes, 20 years before it happened. He had decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad. Junpei smiled uncomfortably. Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay? Huh? But... Her voice trailed off and she glanced at the floor, troubled. Tap, tap. Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Oh right, I was picking up a knife. Let's sharpen this. Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. Yep. Blade of the knife is getting sharper by the second. I should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Let's cut something pretty good. Alright, now that I've sharpened the knife... Yes, I cut the fork. And it's a good thing that I didn't take too long sharpening the knife and talking to June about the Titanic or whatever. And it didn't burn. Awesome, Junpei. Now we can cut out the paper. C plus 10 plus F. Pork note. So it would be 13 plus 16. 29 plus 15. No, 44. But I don't understand. C plus 10 plus F. Do you think it's some kind of code? Damn it, they're just screwing around. Junpei, do you know what C and F stand for? Think maybe it means corporate finance? I thought it was clever and funny. A is 11. B plus C is 13. Wait, no it's not. Remind me about what hex is. Oh well. I need to look at this. A is 10. Okay, so 12 plus 15, 27 plus 16, 43. This is probably what you're supposed to expect. Put in the right numbers. Maybe the note you found earlier? Yeah, I know. Do you know how to enter those numbers? I think E is for enter and C is for clearing. So basically, when I'm ready to submit my answer, I press E. So if I screw up, I just press C, right? Let's give it a shot. How many can I do? If I do... So 3 digits. Huh? This is weird. You're just punching in random numbers, aren't you? Maybe if you just enter like it said in the hint. Ah, shut up. Just shut up. I'm too bad at math. So, C plus 10 plus F equals 43. So if I want to enter my answer, press E. Hey! Sounds like metal is falling. I guess that went well. Yeah, the door opened. Good job, Junpei. Saturn key card. Let's try it. Hey! Yes! I think it's unlocked now. Did it, Junpei. Let's get out of here. Yes, let's go. They stepped out of the kitchen into a hallway that looked rather familiar. But before they did that, they saved their game. And now we're out of the kitchen and on to a break. Would you like to quit? Unfortunately, yes I would. See you next time.